I know I need to actually start sitting down and actually do legitimate reviews and stuff, but here's the thing, folks. I've got a lot on my plate right now and a lot in the works that I thought, for my own mental sake, because during my mental break I realized, hey, I never really did share with you guys what I'm doing, and, just kind of not really kind of keeping you in the loop like I want to. So this is me keeping you guys in the loop of project updates. What do we got in the works? So the more feasible one that I've got going on right now, because the other one is a gun project that I need to talk to my buddy Wolfman about. Wolfman, of course, being a guy I love playing with at Sector 9, who is also the Juggernaut of Sector 9. Not the Juggernaut of Sector 9, but a Juggernaut at Sector 9. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, here's what's going on loadout-wise. Loadout project is something that I had to kind of balance here. I'm now part of a Enclave group, link in the pinned comment, and the reason I was able to get into that is because I made a video a long time ago talking about, of course, the fatigues from Fallout 4's mod, America Rising 2, Legacy of the Enclave. We'll get to that in a minute, or at least later on in the damn video, but either way, I did a video breaking down the fatigues and kind of the beret and just more or less talking about it and kind of, hey, this is what we got going on. Now, I have already made progress on the loadout itself, if only for one piece of headgear. And that, of course, actually being a legitimate Kevlar helmet. That Kevlar helmet being this, which I paid way too damn much at the Crump Flea Market because the guy there who's actually selling surplus is an old crotchety bastard who likes to overcharge on things instead of actually doing market fucking price. And by overcharge, I mean this little Kevlar helmet right here, I paid damn near $100 for. So, yeah. I'm happy I have it. Even if it's outdated Kevlar, but, yeah. Either way, though, so basically right now, this is more or less the first piece of the Enclave loadout. The Enclave loadout is going to be my little bit of interesting kit that I'm kind of making that's going to help expand the story road, or at least the storyline, of my Fallout-themed videos. I'm also wanting to do, of course, a Brotherhood of Steel one, but we'll get to that later on. But right now, as it stands, this is the first piece of the Enclave kit. Now you're seeing this. I have it painted like this to kind of try and match the brown of the loadout, or at least some of the brown. I'm not able to get boots yet. The boots will definitely be a last bit. So right now I'm focusing mostly on the fatigues and the patches, or at least attempting on the patches. The beret is going to be the most interesting one and definitely the easiest one, considering that the patch on it is not really a patch, but is actually a hat clip, which is kind of interesting, to say the least. That one will be the easiest to do, definitely lock, stock, and just everything. The fatigues themselves won't be hard to do, but the patch is where I might get a bit of a troubling issue, but not really, give or take. Again, it kind of comes down to what I'm able to do, what I can get done type deal. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, though, I do have a gun belt dish. I have Alice gear, so, it's not going to be too difficult to actually use. But moving on, it's going to be kind of interesting to get that set up and kind of do, because I do legitimately want to have some actual armor to go over it. But again, it's going to take a bit. It's going to take a hot minute to kind of get all that stuff together. So right now I'm just focusing on the fatigues and just kind of having that, as well as the patch for the Enclave loadout. The Fallout loadouts in general are definitely going to evolve as they go along. I'm definitely going to try and get more Enclave loadouts, because I want to kind of, well, not just Enclave, I want to kind of get a full, roundabout setup of loadouts of not just, my NCR loadout, but also Enclave, Brotherhood of Steel, and maybe a few other factions, depending on how I want to approach them. Because I want to kind of have them be practicality and sort of their own kind of just own flavor, more or less, in terms of the Midwest or the Mid-South in Tennessee. Or at least, kind of the tri-state border of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. But, yeah. Gulf Wasteland has its own brand of insanity. Either way, though, kind of sticking to that Fallout aesthetic, let's talk about the one gun that I've made 3 videos on. One is getting actually a lot of hate. One is kind of not. There's a lot of questions about it, but one thing I kind of find hilarious is that there was one comic that was removed by the guys on the mod team who told me that, oh yeah, they were making a anti-Jew joke. Never saw the comment itself, but I'm going to take their word for it and be like, yeah, no, I don't care for anti-Semitism, considering I have Jewish blood in me. But religious politics aside, let's go ahead and actually get to the gun itself and kind of talk about what I have planned for it. That would be the not even going to say it, I'm just going to call it the Well M1/2 carbine. Yes, the ever-loving monstrosity that you guys absolutely cannot get enough of. So, why I call it an M1 M2 is because, again, that nice little charging handle there, and yes, it is based off of an M1 M2 carbine, or at least some sort of carbine. Not only that, but also the magazine. It's a 30 cal magazine. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you are, this is technically an M1 carbine. Or M2, depending on how you want to look at it. So, yeah. The plans I have for this is going to be trying to turn it into the combat rifle from Fallout 4 in the not pistol configuration, but the Degenerate Dax 30 carbine configuration, or at least as close as I can get to it. My friend Wolfman has a 3D printer now, and I'm going to try and work with him and kind of look at the designs of the different kind of mods for Fallout 4, because as much as I do like this, don't get me wrong, I kind of want to have a pistol grip, honestly, as well as the stock. Now, this piece right here, the rear piece you see here, actually does come apart. And the funny thing about it is that this is not all one piece. Every single bit of this is segmented and can be taken apart in its own right, and it is something, to say the least. I mean, hell, if I wanted to, I could find a way probably just to have a, like, not this here, but just the little grip here, and it be like those small carbines, basically. But, like I said, I want to kind of try and do the pistol grip configuration, or at least work with Wolfman to try and do the pistol grip configuration with the full stock, because the idea of it with a pistol grip actually does kind of appeal to me a little bit, if not just for the fact of, hey, that's just one of those things. The other thing I want to do is actually try and make more magazines via 3D printing. Actually, let him have one of the magazines here and try and make some mid-caps, or at least we attempt to do maybe extended mid-caps, or kind of the magazines for this right here, because legitimately, these things are only 180, 190 round magazines, and I kind of want to have some mid-caps, honestly. I mean, could you imagine a mid-cap like this, just this, or even the more extended mid-caps, or even the curved mid-caps? Not only that, but technically speaking, it does, I could actually do the full animation, basically, of the Fallout 4 combat rifle, because this is the magazine release, and it just goes straight in. So all I gotta do is just kind of do that whole thing of, and just, if I could, which, again, one of those weird things about this gun. It's weird. It really is, and I love it for it. So yeah, this is kind of going to be a part of my Fallout aesthetics, basically, for my Fallout loadouts. So be it in my NCR, be it in my Enclave, or even Brotherhood of Steel, I'm going to basically be rocking around with this just because it is a fun little thing, and it fits that Fallout aesthetic of that retro 50s kind of futuristic aesthetic of it basically being stuck in the Cold War. And I legitimately love it. This is one of those weird guns of, it's just so funky, and I love it. It is so weird. I cannot hate it. I really can't, and that's why I love it so much. It's just weird. Either way, though. So yeah, that's another project I'm doing. I'm hoping to talk to Wolfman about it, and we come up with something kind of wicked, kind of cool, and just do something, basically, that's just out of left field, more or less. And that is exactly what I want to do with him, is just oh my god, I can't with this right now. I gotta set this off to the side so I can actually get back on topic. Speaking of Fallout-related stuff and loadouts and all that good jazz, I promised I would talk about kind of one of the bigger projects I'm doing. Well, there are several big projects I'm doing, but one of them is me and Merc, aka, Shadow Trooper from Wattpad, Space Battle forums, what have you. We're actually going to be sitting down and talking about America Rising 2, the Legacy of the Enclave mod, and its story mode, its just the fact of what we took away from it and what we liked about it and what we didn't like about it. That's why you're seeing a lot of the gameplay coming up. As to when that video will come out, I'm not sure. I'm literally taking all the time I can before my computer literally overheats. My little mini gaming PC overheats every time I play it, and just attempting to get through that mod, more or less, just so I can kind of be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm trying to get through, here we go. Just trying to get through all that, basically. There is other Enclave mods, to say the least, that I legitimately want to cover as well, because I'm not seeing a lot of coverage on them, especially one that's kind of a new start, basically, or this mod, more or less. It's kind of cool in the sense of it's got an expansion that allows you to go to Canada, more or less. Yes, Canada land. So I kind of want to check that one out, and I really am kind of excited to see where that goes. But again, a big review's coming up on that, and we're just going to basically kind of give our thoughts on it as a whole. Now, the next one is kind of a big one, and I do mean a biggie that is happening in October. And October is going to be basically the hidden gem month, where I take a lot of guns that are hidden, that in my opinion are hidden gems, and basically review them for what they are and what they can offer to basically the average airsofter or the modder, the tinker, basically people who like things that just aren't a part of the norm. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in October is the fact of me, Merc, Ander, and Crimson are going to basically be tackling a huge manga, or at least depending on how they can do that. Come October, me and the guys are going to be taking on World's End Harem. Not World's End Harem Fantasy, that actually has a decent storyline and actually has a cool concept and idea. No, the one manga that hopefully by that time, the last and final damn chapter will have been released, and we can happily announce to the end of the world, to the rest of the world, hallelujah, it is over. Thank God it's over, and just tear that thing a new one. That's kind of the big project I've got going on right now, and believe me, it is absolutely fucking mind-boggling, and it is something that we are all going to be just tearing into, and it is something that we hopefully can do with all four of us. If it's not all four of us, then it's maybe three of us, and if it's not all three of us, it's just going to be me and Merc, because at least me and Merc are going to be able to take it on together, because I'm not going to be able to handle this thing alone. Believe me, I'm not. I'm really, really not. It is... God, there's a reason I did a pitch meeting with it as the basis, because there's actually good concepts in there that could work for a political and military thriller, but not what it presents, not really. But either way, though. Another thing I'm doing is going to be taking, of course, more approaches to actually kind of talk to my friends and seeing if we can do collaborations together. And that, of course, includes a couple of my author friends who I do review their stories of and kind of, do critique them. Johnny Boy 11 actually helped out with a recent fan fiction that I'm actually going to be reviewing. It's a Worm Halo fic. They say it's a crack fic, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not a crack fic, and it actually is something that's kind of cool. Me and him kind of sat down. We're going to be doing... I'm getting that video out, hopefully before the weekend. That is a hopeful. But outside of that, I'm also working on new projects, of course, with some other friends. And for my own fanfiction works, I don't know. I'm just trying to find balance right now. But I do know now I will be, of course, making a video talking about... Me and Merc will be making a video together, hopefully, in the future, talking about some of the projects we're doing together and kind of the concepts and ideas we're kind of just bouncing off each other. But, either way, though, I have rambled on long enough, and if you guys want to help out with October and kind of, hey, we think these guns would actually be kind of nice because they're hidden gems in our opinion, and I'm talking about guns that are sub $100, not over $100 guns. So if you think of any, let us know in the comment section down below, or consider donating or checking out the affiliate links down below. All that actually does help out the channel. And that actually allows us to acquire most of this stuff. So, yeah. Thank you all so very much for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al. I hope this kind of gives you a peek into what is going on, more or less, behind the scenes and kind of what I'm doing. I don't know about Tony, but Tony is doing his own thing and even facing his own health issues right now, which I do wish him the best of luck on to recover as much as he can. Because he legitimately is a cool dude, and even though we've had our spats in the past, we still are friends. So, yeah. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I shall see all you lovely people in the next video, which hopefully will be a review. Not 100% sure. Yeah. Till next time.